Yo, 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 we back. Fresh episode, Talking Game. I'm your host, Anthony, LT, King, Yellow Tape King, Tony, whatever you call me, lets me know what I was on when you was fucking with me. And we back with a super extra special episode with my boy Connor. What's up, man?
What's up? Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me on. Pleasure to always talk ball with you.
Yeah, man. Real quick, Connor, when we first, met or started talking or whatever, it was baseball content. I thought you were just a baseball guy. Comes to find out you are a all sports media guy when it comes to trading cards. And that is interesting. How did you get into that, by the way?
Well, got into the writing a little bit separately further on, but I got into cards specifically when I was growing up. Me and my best friends went to this camp at our little league where the reward for winning different sort of games, they would be handing out trading cards, and
Okay.
whether it was packs or singular cards. And at the end of the week, they'd give you one of your classic 9 card slips, and you'd have to make a lineup. And at the end of the week, you'd go. There'd be like a separate tournament where you'd be playing head to head against each other with the best, who could get the best 9 card lineup. So that's kind of what got me into trading cards originally.
Yeah.
And then I was lucky enough to have an opportunity to write for this trading card company called Mantle. It actually is kind of like a social media platform for all things trading, not just cards and not just sports, but it is pretty heavily sports right now. But it's an awesome site if you haven't checked it out.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Um, I saw wrestling was part of it. Didn't know. Are you into wrestling or you just cover it because it's part of the job?
Cover it because it's part of the job. I'm bad at keeping up with names and everything like that, but I always love watching whether it's WWE, wrestling, UFC. I'll watch all of it and consume all of it. I love just being able to watch the competitive atmosphere.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Cool, cool. Well, let's talk some baseball. Talk some baseball. All-Star
All right.
game. Were you able to attend the All-Star game or you just was around for the festivities?
I was just around Truist Park. I love the Battery. I've got a bunch of family out in Atlanta, so it's fun to visit them. So since the All Star break was off for me too, got the time to visit them, and hadn't been to an All Star game before, so
Yeah.
it was like, why not? It's like I'm not going to buy of the $400 ticket, but I'll just go hang out around the stadium. It's going to be
Man,
just as good a time, and it definitely was.
yeah, man. Enjoy the atmosphere, man. It's vibes and it's vibes out there. At least it was. I know it's over now. Did you enjoy this year's All-Star game?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a crazy ending. To
It
be
was.
honest, I mean, the whole weekend was full of surprises for me because even going into like the home run derby, I didn't even know the updated rules. I was like, man, I forgot they change it every year now. It seems like I'm waiting for a consistent format. It seems like all the players want to go back to how it used to be, but that was super fun to watch. They had some awesome contestants. I don't care what anybody has to say about the stars not doing it. I
Oh, that-
like seeing the variety. It's just guys who are going to be there for All Star Weekend. Why not? O'Neal Cruz, I thought was a great contestant. It's fun seeing those guys. Junior Caminero put on a show as a rookie, and then the game, of course, the swing off to end it couldn't get better than that.
that was
I like
crazy.
the ending.
That was crazy. It's interesting you say like the stars or people complaining about the stars not being in the home run derby. Normally in other sports, like I'll use like the dunk contest as a comparison. That is the time for rising stars to be seen. Like so they can get more camera time, they can be seen. Like that'll help grow the game. You know what I'm saying? When you raise the floor, it raises the ceiling. You feel me? So I like that they had the O'Neal Cruz because he's taken the mantle from the hardest hit balls that I've ever seen. It was John Carlos Stanton for a while, but O'Neal Cruz is on a tear this year. And I was saying that just with my eyes, and then he did it with StatCast to back it up with the numbers. You know what I'm saying? I like that Junior Caminero. I always say his name crazy. Got in there because how many people really checking for the Rays outside of like baseball fans? So
No,
like it
no
made
one.
it better. I will say this though, for the swing off, I would have liked to seen the big dogs in the swing off.
Like who? Who was missing?
Uh, American League definitely could have had Aaron Judge in the swing off. I'm sure people would have wanted to see that. Vladimir Guerrero, I'm not mad with a Rosarina. Like that's cool. And he's like a clutch player, so like that was like a fitting setting for him. But I would have liked to see it a little bit different. And in the National League, we want to see Otani.
Yeah.
You know that, man. You know what I'm saying, baby? Just to, maybe Ellie De La Cruz. Just the showmanship of it. But shout out to Kyle Schwarber, basically single-handedly lifting his team and winning an MVP out of that. So that was
Yep, I think
pretty
I,
cool.
I saw something. He was the first non-pitcher to win the All-Star Game MVP while going hitless in the game because he went over two, but
Oh
he
shit.
won the swing off. So
Yeah.
random stat, but
Hey,
crazy.
shout out to you for the stats and tidbits. I saw I guess you call him reporter. I don't know. On air personality, Chris Broussard. He was saying bring the swing off to the regular season. Like after the ninth, you go straight swing off. It'll bring more excitement. It'll shorten the length of games. I don't know how I feel about that. What you think?
I hadn't seen that. This is the first time hearing of it, so that you're getting the natural raw reaction. I don't love how that sounds. I think I kind of like extra innings. The runner on second base, I feel like already spices it up enough. I feel like I'm just now getting used to that. So if we could keep it the same for at least a little bit longer, I think I'd enjoy that. I it was such a good once a season sort of thing right here, and the odds of it happening were so low to begin with.
Yeah,
So I think it's good reserved for just the All Star game.
I think maybe after like the 11th. Like if we get to like the 11th inning, we got to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? I think I wouldn't like it right after the ninth, but we can get some long baseball games, man. We can get into third. It doesn't happen so much now with that runner on second, but just to avoid that random 14, 15 inning game, I'm not opposed to it. Um, I'm sure the players will like it because it does shorten the length. Like if you think about it, so give me 11 innings and then we'll go swing off.
Well, here, do you like position players pitching?
No, not really. Eh.
So what if I mean I don't know why this just popped in my head. What if we change that into if you have to go to that length to put a position player on the mound, he gets no defenders.
No defenders.
He gets no defenders. What do we
So
think of
what?
that rule?
So that's just inside the park home runs.
Yeah, that's just to discourage that. That'll speed up the games, man.
This is
Come on.
true. This is true. You know what's crazy though? At least like it doesn't happen often. Oddly enough, it seems like when position players get in, that's when they start getting outs.
I've seen it in person plenty of times now, and I will say it does happen. Everybody's kind of just going through the motions at that point,
Yeah,
but I'd rather see a pitcher come in at that point.
yeah, for
Still,
sure, for sure. I mean, you got
whatever
enough
makes that.
arms. There's enough arms. You can definitely put a pitcher out there. Um, I don't know, man. Baseball gotta, it's been the same for hundreds of years. They definitely can't make all these changes all at once. It might have a heart attack. It might shock me a little too much. Um, a lot of talk has been on salary caps in baseball, salary floors in baseball. And I was talking the other day with some guys I did a baseball podcast right before the home run derby. I didn't realize this that you probably won't get one without the other. Do you feel like they should incorporate a cap and a floor in the next CBA with the MLB?
I think they should let them run wild. I don't
Really?
think there should be a cap or a floor. I think it just creates too many problems, especially with the players and contracts. It's gonna have that trickle down effect to where owners and players are getting into bad relationships. I think that's one of the reasons why it hasn't happened already. Because obviously these smaller market owners, they know that the Dodgers are going to spend more money than them in a year. They know these other teams have these media rights deals that are going to allow them to have a bigger budget, and it's just kind of going to stay that way. I don't think anything's going to be able to change it with the floor and everything like that. It hasn't changed for reasons. I just I say if a team really wants to win, you're going to get yourself an ownership group and a team on the field that's going to gel at the right time. And I think that's going to have to be how it works until the Rays can prove that you can just keep recycling prospects until you find the right group of guys.
Yeah. I wonder if the Rays are going to start spending new money now with this new ownership group. Well, owner.
We'll see.
We
New
shall see.
stadium possibly too.
It hurts my soul though, because I still had a little bit of hope of them coming to Orlando. Just a little bit. And now that's nixed. Now my only hope is the expansion team, man. Expansion teams, that's a long climb up the hill. I personally, as a Yankees fan, I don't think it should be a cap. I do feel like it should be a floor, though. And I understand that you can't have both, but I feel like teams shouldn't just be okay with not spending money. And the Rays find a way to win, but other teams, they're not. You're just not spending money, you're being mediocre. I'm not a fan of that. And I don't get it either. I'm a big believer that winning makes money. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we've heard this in I'm not gonna necessarily say the streets, but we've heard this in the streets. It takes money to make money. You know what I'm saying? So if you spend, you're gonna win and the money's gonna come in. Um, but I'm also a Yankees fan who we spent a lot of money in the 90s and 2000s. We even spending money now. It's not the smartest money sometimes, but we spending money now. Let's talk AL MVP because it seems to be a two-man race. We got Kyle Riley, Aaron Judge. They give you your MVP vote yet?
Do they what?
They give you your credentials to get an MVP vote yet?
I don't know. I don't know about all that. Probably not anytime soon. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, I feel like somebody made a good point over the All Star break season. I'm not sure where I saw it, but just something I hadn't thought about with the catcher position about how much it means to be manning a pitching staff throughout a full 162 game season and be putting up record offensive numbers at a record pace. That's going to speak out to me a little bit more than a Judge another 50 homer season because we saw it with him winning it over Otani. Like if there's something rare that's going to happen, sometimes that's going to wooze people over, other than what the stats are saying on paper. And not that Cal Raleigh is on pace to break any single record like Judge's all time in a season by a Yankee. I still think what he's doing behind the dish needs some more credit behind its name. And I don't know where the voters are going to turn, whether it's going to be the defensive and offensive threat that both of them provide. But it's going to be fun to watch if both of them can keep this up because Judge is just, I mean, bringing the average up like he has been, that's just something I don't think anybody saw coming.
Yeah, I think obviously I got Judge as my MVP. But I think that's what I've been trying to figure out. And maybe you can help me with this. How can baseball find a way to to put value in a stat for a catcher? Like we all know, like as baseball fans in the eye test, and we all know what the catcher does. We know he controls the staff, he controls the defense, he sees everything, he touches the ball every play. But like I wish they can find a stat to make it look good because whenever they show like the MVP race, they don't show nothing but offensive numbers. Like they show is home runs, batting average, OPS, RBIs. And that is to me, that's hurting Kyle Riley because they don't talk about him defensively. And then when you look at the offensive numbers, you're like, well, what are we even talking about? Like, yeah, he has the home runs, but Judge is right there, and the average is close and is not even close. You know, we got to figure that out. We got to find a way to have like a catcher stat that makes it. Because I was thinking maybe when he doesn't catch the ERA of the pitching staff, but he catches what 150 games. So it's not even a big enough sample size.
Yeah, he's been a workhorse, and I just pulled up the WAR leaders on the whole season. Judge is leading it right now, 7.1 in his season. Riley's third, 4.8. His defensive, I mean, not that either of their defensive wars filter into it very much, but the offense is very close. And I, I probably you're getting a lot more stats on paper as an outfielder, still making diving catches and having to put out every game,
Yeah,
something like that. Whereas catchers, you got to get your caught stealings in and whatnot to really define yourself. Because yeah, nobody's really looking at frame rates, block percentages, all that stuff, wild pitches, pass balls. Nobody's bringing that up in an MVP race. So
not the sexy stat. That's like in the NBA saying, "Hey, I was the rebound leader." No one's bringing that up for your MVP
I'll,
case. You know, but shout out to Kyle Riley. If nothing else, he should get the Hank Aaron Award for being the big dumper.
That's right.
Cool. It's coolest nickname in baseball right now.
I was just about to say we don't have any cool nicknames anymore. It's just
We
I
don't.
feel like
'Cause
that narrative's starting to get out there a little bit more. Big Dumper might be the best we have in baseball for sure.
yeah, yeah, that's about it. Like people have nicknames for stuff that they do. Like you have the cruise missiles. Aaron Judge hit a home run is all rise, but like just a defiant, like a definitive nickname for a person. Shout out to Kyle Riley, man. Big dumper, Carolina legend. Um, National League MVP has not been getting as much talk and coverage. Right now, who do you have as a National League MVP?
I think it's going to be up to two things in the second half. I, for one, really love the come on of PCA this season. This
Yeah,
is a guy that I feel like nobody really expected the power to be like this. It's been broadcasted enough about, obviously, the Gold Glove center field, but it's going to be up to how he's able to carry that power through the second half if he fades off. And if Shohei Ohtani is able to put together a full second half of pitching, whether it's a 10 starts of 5, 6 plus innings. I don't know how much he'll be able to do in the second half. I know, or I'm assuming they'll be cautious with him so that he's going to be able to pitch in the playoffs no matter what that means for his regular season sample size. But I still think it's a two-horse race for me right now, and I'm leaning Otani if he's able to stay on the mound and healthy.
yeah, I'm thinking Otani too. I'm a guy who believes when you're like the reigning anything, like MVP or something like that, if you holding firm like as good as you were last year or close enough, somebody got to come take it. And no one's really came and took it from Otani. And like you say, if he starts pitching, the game over. Like it's really not much of a conversation because we talked about it when I had you on before. Got an ace. You got Cy Young stuff, because I asked you about the closing. He was like, nah, nah. And it's crazy that he's coming in a time where they really need him with all the injuries that they had. So like he can be the driving force of that playoff run. That puts another little notch under his belt.
Yeah, one dark horse too. I think if I had to name one that wasn't going to be either of these two front runners, sticking in Chicago, I'm going with Kyle Tucker. If he gets on a power streak that just propels him above a couple of these other names in terms of the home run leaders,
Yeah.
and Otani, for whatever reason, isn't able to continue to pitch at a high level, and Pete Crow Armstrong comes back down to earth for the second half, I think Kyle Tucker always ends up at the end of the season. We saw it in Houston for so many years. Just like, well, crap, you put his numbers up against anybody else on papers at the end of the season. You're like, well, he could be top three, top two, maybe even the MVP.
I got a question for you as a Dodgers fan. Still a Dodger fan, right? Nah,
Oh, of course.
mess with you. Why no love for Freddie Freeman in the MVP race?
Because you talked about not pretty stats. First base is just a not pretty position. And for whatever reason, everybody has to correlate home runs with the first base position. So if you're going to win MVP at first base, you've got to be leading the league in home runs. It seems like that's just the stereotypical most valuable player, first baseman. I mean, Freddie continuing to do what he's doing into his mid 30s is just incredible. I didn't see it coming again this season. I really didn't think he was going to have to be better than he has been at an MVP sample size. So I don't know. It's whatever fountain of youth he's drinking, he's got to hook everybody else up with.
Yeah, because when I look at his numbers, he if you just look at outside of home runs, probably should be like the front runner. His bat's solid, one of his best years, probably better than even his MVP year. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I'm like, dang, my boy's out here being forgotten. But Freddie Freeman's a guy who he probably doesn't care. Like, he probably can care
Yeah,
less.
not at this point in his career. I think everybody in the Los Angeles clubhouse kind of knows it's just let's make it to the playoffs. Whatever happens in between is all right. Obviously, guys are playing for their own stats. Playing it, it's an individual game played as a team. We've said it so often, but yeah, this will be what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fifth year in a row making an All Star team. He's 4 for 4 when he's with the Dodgers. So as a 35-year-old looking for another 2+ WAR season. It's just it's unheard of. The
Dang,
power
4 years
is
already?
whatever. He's 35 right now.
Sheesh. Dang, 4 years, time go by so fast. I feel like Freddie Freeman just became a Dodger.
16 big league seasons, a 300 flat batting average.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to send you a clip that I seen Vin Scully um talking about Freddie Freeman, his first at bat in Dodger Stadium as a Brave. I was like, man, one legend talking about another.
Wow.
Talk, talking about another, man. Real quick, just to take a step back. Do you subscribe to Home Run Derby messes up your swing for the second half of the season?
Definitely. I mean, well, depending on the home run derby rules, honestly, because
Oh
some of
yeah, that's
these,
right, because it was different. Yeah,
yeah, some. I feel like back in the day, that wasn't such a big stigma when you had the ability to take as many pitches as you want. You could put up your best BP swing every
yeah,
single time, not depending on the pitch. But yeah, I think with the time centric rules kind of changed everything to where yeah, you're going for the best exit velocity, the best launch angle every single time. So I do think that kind of changes your mentality at the dish. I think the best of the best shouldn't have a problem with it. But I think, yeah, guys who maybe have a little bit of a not so strong mental part of the game, maybe that does throw them off their rhythm a little bit. We've seen so many examples of it in the past. The one that really sticks out to me in my head is Jock Peterson, who did it, I believe, as a rookie and as a Dodger.
yeah,
Well, when he was on just a crazy tear, I think he ended up hitting like 30 something home runs that season, but then never really did that again at such a full year length.
yeah.
So I don't know. The second half woes are always such like a freshman sophomore typical thing. In the second half, you're just not as good as you were in the first half. People figure you out. But I think if I had to give you a straight yes or no answer, I'd lean yes. It does tend to mess up guys' swings.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, how can I put it? It's like if I wear this headband, I play better. Like it's no real proof of it, but like you see it all the time. You're like, dang, when he's wearing stirrups instead of pants, he just pitches so much better. Yeah.
Yep. Look
Uh,
good, feel good, play good.
hey, prime time, baby.
That's right.
Look good, you feel good, you play good, then they pay good. Then they pay good. Um, you think Paul Skeens will win the Cy Young with a losing record?
Oh yeah, we've gone through this before. Jacob Degrom, we've seen it. I
They didn't
think
have losing
he's
records though. And I know that's not
he's
Paul Skeens' fault, but
I think Skeens will be more than deserving of the Cy Young. I haven't tuned into that. Who's even in the conversation with him?
I'm gonna be honest with you, he's running away in the national. Like the National League seems like their guys are
Yeah,
just
I don't think there's anybody who's even close.
it's not. It's his to run away with.
Oh, Chris Sale was the other guy I feel like in my head that I was thinking of that
Yeah, but
was
he
really
got
good.
hurt,
He
so
just got hurt, so
yeah.
it's his
Chris,
to win now.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Paul Skeens, my boy got 6 runs in the All-Star game and they still lost. Still couldn't get a win. I seen a crazy stat that I think over his last 13 games, the ERA is like 1.27 or something. He only got one win. You gotta do better, Pittsburgh. But that goes back to wanting to win. Spending the money or going after guys to try and help your best players. Is to me is no reason to have a Paul Skeens and a O'Neal Cruz like pillars and you don't put anything around it. But
Yeah, I hope they dump Brian Reynolds this offseason or this trade deadline. I know he doesn't want to go anywhere, but it just seems like the more they can get back to speed up this timeline to match Skeens and Cruz, some of the other young guys they have in the rotation, like it needs to happen now. If now is not go time, I don't know what else is.
yeah. But oddly enough, and we see this in all sports, some franchises just ain't gonna go for it. I don't know why. I mean, you would think that owners get these franchises because they're competitive, or even in the business sense, you would think they come from being competitive. They get these franchises and be like, all right. That's we're good with what we got. We're good winning 75 games and going home after October, after Halloween, well, before Halloween. I just wish it was better, man, because I we need Paul Skeens in the playoffs. Like this goes back to like when Otani wasn't in the playoffs. It's like we need these guys on the biggest stage, and I that helps grow the MLB. Stars make leagues. At least I feel like it. Like if I look at the NBA model, you look at the NFL model. That's why you can't touch the quarterback in the NFL. I couldn't imagine Patrick Mahomes never going to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't imagine like the LeBron Jameses and Kevin Durant's not going to the playoffs. Um, hey man, trade them for a big haul. Do you think MLB teams should do that? Like if you look at other sports, right? If you're like in the bottom barrel, normally they'll trade their best players because having them doesn't do much for them, and getting a huge haul back and just rebuilding from that. You think that should happen more in baseball?
I think with how much of a crapshoot prospects are, I think it's going to be really tough to sell. With the other sports, you see it for maybe just younger players, not necessarily somebody you'd consider a prospect. Because I mean, in football, you think about everybody getting traded for draft picks, but in football, how many years are you really going to spend on the practice squad if you're drafted in the first 4 rounds? Like you're going to go make an impact semi immediately, and it seems like that's always guys are getting traded for high round picks all the time. And
Yeah,
I just don't know if it's going to be able to happen as commonly in baseball because you see teams like the Angels with Otani. It's like the owner didn't do it because he didn't want to be the guy to be known that traded Shohei Otani.
yeah.
That like why would you want to be that guy? So I don't know if it will happen more commonly. I think it'd be fun to see. I'm always a fan of a fire sale trade deadline, some blockbuster moves in the middle of the summer. But this year, it's looking like it's going to be panning out to be kind of another average trade deadline. Maybe we get one big name moved, and that's kind of all we see.
Yeah, but what's crazy though? If you look at the Nationals, they're doing pretty good with their haul from Juan Soto. You look at Woods, it's like why, I think the prospect part is trusting your scouting department, right? Like if you really trust your scouting department to look at their prospects and say, we want this guy, this guy. Yeah, he might be the 40th person for them, but we can get him right. I think it's just a whole organizational thing. Like if you can figure out the prospects and the ones you want, I think you can make it happen. It is harder though, because man, there's a lot of levels to go through with baseball. You got to high A, single A, double A, triple A. Like you got a lot to weed through. So I can only imagine how that can work out. But why not, man? It'll make more fun. Player movement is the thing of the 2020s in sports, man. Bring it to baseball.
Yeah, the Soto trade is a great example of like perfect timing. They knew they weren't going to get him. They had just come off of a World Series, and the guy still won't sign a long term contract. That
Facts.
doesn't show you he just doesn't want to be there. Then get rid of him. So that was a perfect move for them. They're still sitting 17 games back of first place in the NL East. So yes, they've been great individually, but has it turned this team to anything better than it was when they were about to trade him? Nope. They're still unfortunately worse. But I'm all for seeing these guys succeed. The James Woods, the C.J. Abrams, Robert Hassel, Mackenzie Gore. Those guys are the future of that team, and I'll be very excited to watch them if they're able to push Washington back into a playoff position in the next handful of seasons.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Um, Real quick, I know I gotta get you out of here. World Series, still got Dodgers Yankees. I kind of
Mm.
bullied you into that last time, so I'm gonna leave you alone. Who you got? Who you got World Series right now?
I'm going Dodgers NL. I think the NL is going to be really fun to watch this season. I'm really, really interested to see how the NL Central shakes out with the Brewers and the Cubs. And then on the AL side, I think if the Yankees get in, they have a very clear shot at the postseason. Their pitching staff's healthy with Fried, Rodon, however you say that crap, and then Garrett Cole, wherever he's at that point, we'll see.
Oh, no Garrett Cole.
No Garrett Cole,
No Garrett Cole. They
done.
see him in the spring.
Maybe we'll get some better PFPs then. So maybe that's just a helpful advantage for them. I don't know what we're going to see out of the Blue Jays, how that longevity will go, but I don't believe in the Astros in the playoffs. I don't know if I'm bought in on the Tigers in the playoffs yet. So I do think the Yankees will run the AL East, whoever they see out of that. So they're my pick too.
I'm as a, you know, it's been a stressful season as a Yankees fan, Connor. Because I see we're okay. Second place right now going into the break. But this feels like a disappointing playoff run is about to happen. I don't know, and I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. They haven't done anything to make me waver from picking them, but it just something don't smell right. Something just don't smell right. And I said this Monday on the show I did. We haven't slayed that Astros dragon yet. So some teams just got your number. No, we was able to avoid them last year. So I can't trust my Yankees until they show me they can slay that dragon. But I'm rolling with them. That's my team, and I'm gonna stick beside them.
Hey, don't sleep on the Mariners now, though. That's
You
it's my
know,
underdog team always.
I hate to say it, but the Mariners might have to go in that box, man. I might not want to. I don't think I want to hear about the Mariners no more, man. I get they where are they? They in
Just
second place right now?
yeah, they're 5 games back. They're let's see, they're right next to the Yankees in the wild card race. Yankees and Red Sox. It'd be those three in contention right now, with the Rays too.
The Mariners pitching staff gives them a chance though, and that's what matters in the playoffs. So I'm not gonna just we'll talk about this when it's all said and done. Because Mariners, they're close. The box is right there. The Mariners are right next to the box on the table, and I'm looking like, should I put them in? I'm not gonna do it just yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, man. I'm gonna let you go. How's the Smokies doing right now?
Oh, glad you asked. Smokies are doing great. We are, I believe, 1 game back of first place right now, Southern League. That's just a bunch of AA teams for anybody who doesn't know right now. So, yeah, AA baseball is still exciting. We've got a bunch of top prospects on the squad. And yeah, need to just stay in first place so that we can go make the playoffs in the second half. Should be fun.
For sure. What's your favorite night at the ballpark? Like when it has like a theme night. What's your favorite theme night at the ballpark?
Ooh, it's a consistent one, and it's Thirsty Thursdays. Half priced off, all draft beers all night long, every Thursday home game.
Facts. That sounds like a good night. Hopefully, it's a lot of Ubers being called after that.
Definitely.
For sure. For sure, man. Connor, anything you want to say to the people?
Just thank you for having me on, man. I'm glad. I hope this community keeps growing because I love the content you make. I love how freely you're able to talk about any sort of sport, whatever's on your mind. So, yeah, just always happy to be a part of the show. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming through for me. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. You got your writing going on. You covering the Smokies. I know making the content for them that takes time. You still got your life as your personal life, bro. So I want you to know, bro, I truly appreciate you, man, for real.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Hey, people, y'all already know what I'm gonna tell y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Comment. Y'all know I comment back, but I'm like KD. Starting Saturday, for real. Starting Saturday, we will be doing two Raw for SmackDown. So we're gonna do a weekly wrestling podcast. Me and my boy Adrian. That's gonna be fun. And we're just gonna keep rolling, man. This has been Talking Game. Peace.